Alright, so hello everyone. For today's video, we're going to discuss about the research methodology. So this presentation will explore the key steps and techniques involved in conducting robust and thorough research. We will delve into the process of data collection, analysis, and the identification of limitations and challenges that researchers often face. So commonly, research method is part of the chapter 3 of a thesis. So dito, nakalagay kung paano mo ikinandak ang iyong research. From what is the design of your research, paano mo kukuhanin ang data mo, paano mo i-analyze ang data mo, no? And kung sino yung mga participants mo. Also, what is your instrument, no? Na-validate ba yan ng validators, experts in the field? No? You must state it in this part of your research or thesis paper. All right, so let us proceed with the introduction of the study. So number 1, clearly defined objectives. So the double objectives. The study aims to investigate a specific research question or hypothesis, providing a clear direction for the investigation. Of course, that's number 1, no? Bago ka mag-conduct ng research, nagbe-brainstorm ka muna with your group mates, no? Para makapag-generate ng idea about the problem na gusto mong isolve sa iyong research paper. Okay? So, you're gonna list down some problems na interested ka and related with your degree, of course. And then you will create a hypothesis from there so that guided ka for the whole study na ikakandak. Okay, so that's number 1. Second, you need to conduct a literature review. Sabi dito, a comprehensive review of relevant academic literature helps establish the context and identify gaps in existing knowledge, right? So, RRL, ito yung pinaka matrabaho kasi maghahanap ka ng mga relevant literature, relevant studies sa iyong kinahandak na new research. So, there are lots of journals available online na pwede kang kumuha ng mga study at literature na related sa iyong study. You can use Google Scholar, JSTOR, no? So, those are just some of the examples na pwede mo pagkuhanan na mga peer-reviewed journals. Okay, so let us proceed with methodological approach. So the research methodology chosen should be well suited to the objectives and the nature of the investigation. Of course, di ba? Sabi ko kanina, dito dapat mahalaga yung mga steps na ginamit mo, ginawa mo, no, sa pagkakandak ng iyong study. So, dapat po well-suited. When we say well-suited, akma doon sa study mo, masasagot yung research problem na na-identify mo. Okay, so let us now proceed with the data collection techniques. For the data collection techniques of quantitative methods, we have numerical data collection techniques such as surveys, experiments, and analysis of existing data sets. So, quantitative, we are talking about the numerical data. So, mga numbers ang data natin dito. So, we're gonna use surveys, experiments, and analysis, no, of existing data sets. Kung ikaw ay nagkahandak na isang meta-analysis study. So you combine all the data sets from the existing studies, and from there, you decide, no, kung ano pa yung pwede mo ma-deduce from those data na napagsama-sama. Okay? So that is meta-analysis approach. We also have qualitative methods These are in-depth, open-ended data collection techniques such as interviews, focus groups, and ethnographic observation. So dito naman, we use words. We use phrases, sentences. Instead na numbers, we use phrases, words, no, that help us to answer all the research questions that we have. Okay? So finally, we have mixed methods, combining both quantitative and qualitative approaches to provide a more comprehensive understanding of the research problem. Okay? So in this case, pinagsama lamang po yung quantitative and qualitative. From the quantitative data, you can create a analysis, no, from the result of your quantitative data, so that you can support why is the number like this, diba? So mas maganda meron ka pang supporting from the interviews, from the focus group discussion na ginawa mo with your target participants. Okay? So we have here some data analysis approaches. So we have descriptive analysis. So in this type of analysis, we summarize and describe the characteristics of the collected data, such as measures of central tendency and dispersion. So this is a common approach in the data analysis, descriptive analysis. So we just describe the characteristics of the data that we have gathered from our respondents. We also have inferential analysis, drawing conclusions about the populations based on the sample data using techniques like regression, hypothesis testing, and correlation analysis. Okay? So, ayan po iyon. So, we use the regression, hypothesis testing, no? So, common ito sa mga baccalaureate degree na, no? So, when I was in college, we already use inferential analysis in our research. Okay? Next, we also have interpretive analysis. So, contextualizing the findings and drawing meaningful insights from the data, often through qualitative interpretations, right? So we interpret the data that we have gathered from the respondents. So we contextualize it. We use themes para makategorize natin sila according to their themes. So, of course, we have limitations and challenges. So we have sampling bias, ensuring the sample is representative of the target population to avoid skewed results. So we should ensure our representatives for our study to avoid bias. Data quality, addressing issues like missing data, measurement errors, and data integrity to ensure reliable findings. No? So dapat kapag nag-store tayo ng data, we make sure na sama-sama sila sa isang Google Sheet, so sa isang file, sa isang drive, para dun sama-sama makikita natin, madali natin siyang ma-analyze. And we also have resource constraints, overcoming limitations in time, budget, or access to research participants or data resources. So, common ito sa mga short period lamang yung binigay para makandak yung research, no? So they are limited of time. Also for the budget, kinakailangan ng budget yung pagre-research. And sometimes, no, yung mga participants busy rin. Kaya nahihirapan si researcher, no, to gather data for the study na kinakandak niya. And of course, ethical considerations, adhering to ethical guidelines and protecting the rights and privacy of research participants. As a researcher, it is your responsibility to ensure the data privacy of your participants. Hindi mo pwedeng i-divulge sa ibang tao yung mga shinare niya sa yung information. Yung mga survey results, no? You cannot share it to others. Only to your co-researcher, no? Or to your team member kung grupo kayo. And for the conclusion and future directions, no, summarize the main findings and their significance for the field of study. Okay. So of course, when you create your conclusion, you summarize everything. What are the findings that you have got from your research? And future research, of course, there should be an avenue for future research always. Identify potential avenues for further investigation and areas that require deeper exploration. Kung hindi pa na-explore yung part na to, yung variable na to, you could include it in your research for future research. So that other researcher could explore on it kapag nabasa nila yung study mo. And lastly, collaboration. Emphasize the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in advancing research and addressing complex research problems. Okay? So, you could present this research na natapos mo sa mga conferences, no? Or you could publish it in journals, no? Para mas makatulong ka with the other researcher na nangangailangan na literature with regards to the study na mapoproduce. Okay? So that would be all for this video. I hope that you have learned a lot for today's discussion. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you are updated sa mga future postings pa natin. So thank you so much. Have a great one.